Hello coders and welcome to week 1 of Unity Think training. Now the reason I wanted to make this tutorial series is because a big problem with new developers, new programmers, is that every time they come up with a problem to solve, they end up just going on forums, and of course I'm guilty for this as well. You'll end up going on forums and somebody will give you the answer, you'll copy and paste the code, and when it's all said and done you haven't really learned anything. So the purpose of this tutorial is to teach you guys how to think, and I don't want to come off as condescending when I say that. Believe it or not, problem solving is something that must be learned, it must be practiced, and so by completing these tutorials you're going to learn how to solve problems, you're going to become a better, more independent developer, meaning you won't have to depend on forums, and you're going to boost your brain power because let's face it, the more you think, the more you think about different solutions and different problems, the smarter you will become. Okay, now the format of these videos is going to be this. I'm going to introduce a new problem to solve, and then we're going to dissect the previous week's problem. Now we can't do this for this video, of course, because it's the first video, but we're going to start that segment next week. Okay, and what we're going to be doing there is I'll be talking about how I went about solving a problem, and I'll show you guys an actual implementation of that problem so you guys can see it actually working in action. So what I would expect for you guys to do when it comes to solving problems is look up in Unity's API, so the application programming interface. They have a great resource for that online. Look up in that resource, check out what classes you need to solve that week's problem, and perhaps even write some pseudocode, and some of you might even want to take it to the next level and actually create your own implementation of the problem before you actually see how I did it. Okay, and that's going to give you the best results because you're actually going to be solving these problems on your own, and I want to reinforce the idea that you don't go and look on forums to see how to do something because that really defeats the purpose of this series. Now finally, at the end of the videos, I'm going to send you off with a little problem solving tip. So I'll give you guys some classic tips, and I'll also give you guys some things that I do. I'll tell you guys some of the things that I do when I go about solving a problem that I really have no idea how to do at first. So hopefully those tips are going to really help you out in the future videos. Alright, so let's go ahead and look at the first week's problem. Okay, so here's the problem. I want to be able to click a target, then click somewhere on my terrain and have my selected target move to the position I clicked. Now there are no obstacles for my target to move around, and that's a really big hint. Again, I'll go ahead and reiterate, there are no obstacles for my target to move around, and I guess I'll give you guys an extra tip. So here's a little free tip for this video. Try not to overcomplicate a problem because oftentimes it can be solved in a much more simple fashion than you originally think. So go ahead, think about this problem. Go ahead and look up online some classes, some of Unity's classes that you might want to access to solve the problem. Write some pseudocode and take it to the next step. Be an overachiever and actually try to implement it on your own. Okay, now here is the tip I'm going to send you guys off with, and I've mentioned this, I sort of hinted to it several times in this video already. Unity's API is a great resource. Learning how to research things in the API will serve you better than any forum, okay? Because typically the examples that they give on the API website is going to be more accurate than what other people are going to be telling you. Alright guys, and if you want to access that, just Google Unity API and it'll probably be the first resource. But that's actually going to close things up for this tutorial. I look forward to showing you guys my implementation of this problem next week, and hopefully you guys, hopefully it's not too difficult for you guys and you guys can actually figure it out on your own. But as always, thanks for watching guys, and I'll see you guys in the next video.